Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a fascinating text called the Decentralized Blueprint. It makes a pretty bold claim that cryptocurrency is quietly but surely becoming the unshakable foundation of our next global financial system. We're going to look at exactly how the author says this massive transition is happening behind the scenes and what it means for the whole concept of ownership itself. Let's get right into it.
So, are we witnessing the end of traditional banking? That's the provocative question we're kicking things off with. And to be clear, the premise here isn't just suggesting some minor software upgrade to the current system. No, we're talking about a total, from-the-ground-up overhaul. But to really understand why this text views such a massive shift is absolutely necessary, we've got to first look at its diagnosis of the financial world as it exists right now.
The core critique here is pretty straightforward. Traditional banking is inherently slow, and it's heavily centralized. Instead of an open, flowing system, traditional institutions basically act as restrictive gatekeepers. They're the ones deciding who actually gets access to the global economy and, frankly, who gets intentionally left behind. It really paints a picture of a system that is just bogged down by massive friction and exclusivity.
So, what's the proposed solution? Well, it's a total paradigm shift. When you contrast the intense, slow friction of that old centralized system against the lightning speed of cryptocurrency, it's like night and day. This framework positions crypto as way more than just new money. It's pitched as an entirely borderless economy that completely rewrites the rules. We're talking about a system that's incredibly fast, truly global, and operates completely without those traditional gatekeepers.
To really grasp this borderless economy, the blueprint points to blockchain technology as the ultimate equalizer. I mean, the barrier to entry basically drops to zero. You literally just need a smartphone and an internet connection to participate on a global scale. It completely cuts the traditional middlemen right out of the equation. So instead of routing your capital through clearinghouses and correspondent banks, the ones that extract high fees and delay your settlements, individuals actually own and transfer their digital assets directly, and they can do it instantly anywhere in the world.
Now, the author brilliantly anchors this whole shift to a revolution we've all already lived through: the internet. Think about it. Just as the web digitized information and communication, totally upending print media and telecommunications, crypto is digitizing value. And that fundamentally alters not just currency, but banking, investing, and even the very concept of ownership itself. It's really framed here as a foundational shift in how humans interact. It's the base layer for a new internet of value, rather than just some specialized financial tool for insiders.
And all of this builds directly into the blueprint for the future of finance, which is constructed on 8 foundational pillars.
First up, we've got the structural improvements. By moving to 24/7 global markets and completely transparent systems, the inherent, frustrating delays of traditional banking just vanish. Think about it. No more waiting around for a bank to open on a Monday morning just to clear a transaction, or having to rely on those opaque lending practices. Faster transfers, lower fees, and true financial freedom are presented here as the new baseline expectations. It's really all about designing a system that actually works at the speed of the modern internet.
But beyond just speed, the blueprint points to some massive technological leaps. We're talking true decentralized ownership, where users actually hold their own private keys. Plus, there's the incredibly exciting integration of artificial intelligence with blockchain. That allows for automated, smart contract execution totally free of human error. And crucially, we have tokenization. This is huge. It means that physical, historically illiquid assets, like real estate, fine art, or commodities, could very soon be represented and traded digitally, and you could do it fractionally, just as easily as sending a text message. But here is the absolute crucial takeaway. This isn't just some far-off sci-fi theory. A massive, quiet, institutional shift is actively underway right now, and it's being driven by some of the most powerful entities in the world, operating largely behind closed doors.
The text maps out this hidden accumulation phase in 3 distinct steps. First off, governments definitely aren't ignoring this. They are actively exploring sovereign digital currencies and setting up regulatory frameworks. Second, major, well-established companies are already integrating blockchain payment rails right into their existing infrastructure just to cut costs. And finally, step 3. Massive financial institutions and asset managers are quietly accumulating Bitcoin and other digital assets. They're building up their massive positions while the general public remains, largely unaware of the sheer scale of this capital rotation.
Now, all of this quiet accumulation leads to a pretty stark warning from the author. The text notes, and I quote, The biggest wealth opportunities usually appear before mass adoption. Let that sink in for a second. The core argument here is simple, yet powerful. We are standing at a critical juncture right now.
In other words, waiting around for mass consensus basically means missing out entirely. The blueprint frames this current period of institutional accumulation as a very rare, fleeting window. Think about it. If you wait until literally everyone you know completely understands and is using crypto every day, that early mover advantage, poof, it's already gone.
So the author's thesis ultimately boils down to three very definitive pillars. The future is digital, the future is decentralized, and the future of finance is cryptocurrency. The text really leaves no room for doubt here. It views this complete global transition away from traditional banking not just as a possibility, but as absolutely inevitable.
Based on our explainer of the decentralized blueprint today, I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. As this massive financial shift quietly accelerates behind closed doors, where exactly will you stand when that window of early opportunity finally closes? Will you be an early adopter, or are you going to wait for mass adoption? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.